डाल रही है ऐसी हरकतों का? How am I supposed to breathe after eating this? Seems like poison. Sorry.
Baby, it smells really good whatever you're wearing too. I have no idea what I'm wearing, I forgot. Make it. Actually, what watch did you try? Okay, this is what she likes about it. The fact that there's 3 people right now here recording this person.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
अब यहाँ से प्लग इन करेंगे. चलो इधर से उसको मिल गया ना, इसको मिल गया एंगल. Now I'll put the other thing. Oh yeah. कोई बात नहीं. Ooh, 3.
So, here's the thing. We talk about intuition, gut feeling, feelings attached to a situation or people or event that is going to happen or might happen, and you just have a feeling about it. So this video is something related to that. It was not the topic of the video or the vlog that I was supposed to put on today, but this week was really about testing my intuition. And what I did was I kind of note down a couple of things because I was not having a great week. I note down a couple of things where every time I went kind of against my intuition or my gut feeling, it just didn't work out. Like, it just really did not work out. And I have realized that, okay, all this is just me thinking out loud and sharing, not looking for sympathy or anything. And this was just me thinking about it while taking a shower. Is I always have like this strong intuition gut feeling about certain events, people, and then there are certain events and people like all together, like when you are in a situation where you have a gut feeling about the event and people at that event. So for example, I was just trying to jot few things down. When I was planning to come back to Pakistan, that was like the worst thing I could think of, and I was very upset when I was doing that. There was no financial burden with it. There was nothing really like crazy shifting apart from me just leaving the life and just moving here. But I knew that I had to go back for certain things, for maybe an emotional stability or something, but it had to make sense. Like, I knew deep in my heart that this decision will give me a certain emotional stability, and this was one of the hardest decision I could ever take, and it kind of made sense. And then when I moved here, I realized like, oh, you meet certain people, certain events happen, and you just like, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense. And I was so stressed, and I find it very difficult to express my feeling in that moment, but I was really stressed, and I don't think any of my friends could tell, like, in that moment that I was stressed or kind of, being all over the place, but I was. And that decision is kind of linked with an event that happened. So one fine night, I was out with my friends, and I always used to wear like a gold necklace. My mother gave it to me, and that night I was supposed to meet with some of my friends, sit by the sand, whatever. That night I was kind of feeling weird, especially related to my necklace thing, whatever I was wearing. And before leaving, I don't know what happened, what clicked. I felt like I don't have enough pictures of myself, because I used to wear it all the time. Like, I never took it off unless I got robbed. Until I got robbed, sorry. I wore it all the time, and I never had any kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but I kind of wanted goodbye pictures, like weirdly. And something happened, yada yada yada. Someone stole my necklace. I came back home. That night I went to my friend's place, stayed with her, and then the next day when I came back home, I went in my photo gallery. The last pictures I had was with me kind of really like vibing with my necklace, like randomly. Like, I knew. While I was scrolling down on my pictures, I was just thinking, why? Why am I here? It just does not make sense. I am not happy. I am not where I want to be, where I'm here. I'm not feeling emotionally stable. Why am I here? And then obviously, because I was in Paris, I gave all these explanation to myself, like, oh, I'm here because, or because, blah, blah, blah. But in that moment, I knew that event made me realize that, no, I really have to listen to my intuition. I just shouldn't be there. At least in that moment, I just shouldn't be there. Also, I'm going out by myself. Like, I just wanted kind of a cute date night with myself, grab some ice cream, or I don't know, something to eat. I also have to do grocery shopping, but I don't think I'm gonna do that because tomorrow is my day off, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But anyways, for the third example, that involves a person and an event. Recently, one of my friend moved somewhere far, and she went for work, whatever, blah blah blah. And I remember the last time I met her this year. It was not supposed to be the last time, but when kind of we were saying goodbye, whatever, I knew in that moment that I will not see her this year. And I kind of wrote down, because I knew that, even though it was just not, we planned to meet like 2-3 times more after, or like 2 times or once, whatever, after. But I just knew that I am not going to see her this year. And I didn't say that to her, obviously. And then some events happened. I ended up having COVID towards the last days when she was leaving. And I think I told her that, I'm not sure if I did, but I just told myself like, I knew. Like I knew. And that weirdly brings me, I mean, that was not even the point of the conversation, but that weirdly brings me to a conversation of, you know, sometimes when people say that things, what you think happen, so it could be positive and negative, because that's why I always started to think of positive thoughts, like, okay, you know what, I don't know, that's what I've learned in my life, that think good things and good things will happen to you. And sometimes when you have negative thoughts and you just couldn't bring that out of your mind, and in that moment I felt that way, because I had and I was just feeling so guilty about it, because I had this feeling that, oh, I'm not going to see her. And then I thought about it so much, and then I had COVID. Obviously I couldn't control COVID, whatever situation, hate COVID already, but that happened. I felt like I kind of manifested that, because I also didn't want to feel hurt when the person was leaving, and I was just not ready for a goodbye. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna record again. Anyways, that was a moment. I have to head out by myself. I'm taking myself out on a date. I don't know if I said that before. Anyways, moral of the story: listen to your intuition more than you actually are. Gut feeling, intuition feeling, whatever. I feel like everyone kind of knows, but we just choose to ignore it, because sometimes we can also confuse that with our anxiety decision. I think the harder part is to differentiate what is actually your anxiety decision or your, you know, gut feeling. That's where I find it most difficult to. And also, like, your conscious mind is, at least in my case, my conscious mind is always running against my gut feeling or intuition. So have a great week ahead. Bisous, bonne nuit if you're about to go to bed. If not, then slay your day. I think that's my cue to go. Bye. Bisous.